it and said, you know, this is what happens. All right, so I have a new video because I've overtalked and this is what I did not want to do. So part 2 of the insecurities of yeah, people pleasing. So all right, so let me just get through my notes, because if I don't, then I'm gonna like ramble or start emotionally losing it. So I find myself going back and losing and lacking boundaries and losing my voice, and I saw it. I was struggling backwards and forwards to find it, and I started getting labeled aggressive because where I was speaking up, I was being passive aggressive, and then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. No, I'm not gonna do that no more. No, you're not gonna talk to me like this anymore. Trying to take my life back. People start labeling me like, oh, you're just angry, you're just mean, you're just this, and it just got really ugly, and I was getting uglier, even more angered. Like, people were calling me angry, and it was only making me angry. Like, no, I'm trying to assert myself, and I'm doing it the way that I'm supposed to doing it, and you are blatantly telling me, screw you, I don't really care. And this was happening everywhere, at home, at church. Now already I grew up socially awkward, so now I'm finding this voice. I'm not too confident in it, and here you are saying, no, that's not right, that's not right. Even some of the grandest dysfunctions, the family were going, that's not right. And it was odd to me. I would have to share with other people because thought I was losing my mind. Like, okay, do people do this? You know, is this okay? He told me this, is that okay? And I remember my bishop, and let's keep him up in prayer, said, Tanetta, you have a different kind of love. You need to protect it. And no, everything that people are saying about you or doing is wrong. It's dysfunctional. And there's nothing wrong with you. And we had this big family meeting where he addressed it, like, what's wrong with you guys? You guys are embracing something that's totally wrong and yelling at her when you should be supporting her and loving her. So yeah, I remember that, and it's been my bishop that kept me through things in life. Like, you know what, it's not me, I understand that. So because this is the second video and I'm 30 minutes into it, I would get frustrated. I wasn't angry, I would get frustrated, and I would get more frustrated to people who weren't listening to me and understanding my views. Like, they would just totally disregard it. And to this day, I still struggle with that. If you don't listen to me, I'm angry. I'm so frustrated that it comes out like I'm at the top of my lungs, like trying to express, saying, wait, this is not fair. You're not listening to me. And so that's something I definitely want to change too, by not even giving it any worth, by saying, you know what, I know what I know what I stand for, and if you want to look foolish with it, fine, let me keep going. Because I'll people please so much that I'm beating my head on the wall, you know, and just like, hey, I want you to get this because I want you to be a better person. I love you. I don't want you walking around foolishly or silly, or other people taking advantage of you. And the truth and the fact is that you can only tell a person so much. Bring the mule to the water. You know what I wanted to say. Take the ass to the water and want him to drink. He doesn't drink, he just doesn't drink, right? So if he starves in the middle of the desert, you've done your part. There's nothing else that you can do about that. And so I need to come to grips with that. That I love people so much that I really want them to get it. But that's not my responsibility. I only take you to the water. That's it. I only plant the seeds. That's it. So my changes are right now including working on a new me, you know, setting new boundaries, making healthy limitations, and pleasing myself without guilt. So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to run through my list really fast, is I'm going to make these changes by working on me, by make time for me. Do what needs to be done for me first, my needs, before others, because I'm really good at having things that I must do, and it's like, oh, I gotta get this done, I gotta get this done. And my mom could call me and say, hey, you know, I have to give this sermon. I was wondering if you could look up blah blah blah, can you print this on your thing? And I'm like, dang, she's my mom, so because she's my mom, I want to give her first priority. And then something that I needed to do by 3 and it's 1, I'm having to go, well, it's not done. I still have not filed my restraining order. I'm still terrified that this person may do certain things. I'm still thinking that this person still swings by the house. I'm still thinking that I'm on the radar. But I haven't gotten it done because I'm doing other stuff for family and friends and getting things out there for them, thinking, oh, they'll be mad at me. I'm always letting them down because I'm, you know, not available. But the truth and the fact is that if I've taken time away just to rest, because I don't, and say, you know what, I'm going to take 2 or 3 days and I'm not going to do nothing but watch TV. That's rare. Or read some books or spend time with the Lord. And that's it. And then today is the day, like, oh, I got to take care of my business. And then people are calling, well, you haven't been available for 3 days. There's that guilt, like, oh, dang, I did push them off. But, or what people will do is, you know, they'll show me something that they've exceedingly failed at or whatever. And they'll go, well, I didn't want to call you because I know you needed your time off. And I really appreciate that. But the guilt in the voice, or the gestures in the body language, I'm realizing, like, you know what, Tanetta, oh well, let them deal with it. You know, oh, you could have called me but you didn't. You know, yeah, embrace that. They didn't. They gave you the space. Yay. And so yeah, but I'm gonna make time for me and not care. And I don't have to tell all my friends. Yesterday I went to the beach, had a really good time with the ladies. I was listening to gospel music. We celebrated a birthday. It wasn't my normal set of friends that I hang out with. Had such a beautiful time. I posted it. I was really excited. I haven't been doing social media. So normally I don't do live, but the beach was just so beautiful that I posted it. I was like, oh, shoot. And people were like reaching out all over the place and had a sense of guilt, like, oh, I better call that person back. Oh, I gotta do this. They see me on social media. And you know what? And who are you with? And why were you there? And you didn't invite me. And I was like, all right. So also take time to ponder over what has been asked. People ask me things, instead of me blatantly saying no, I mean, sometimes yes, I'm just going to say no, and that's going to be that. The more guilt that people apply, I'm going to probably feel more some kind of way about that, like but instead of giving instant answers, being able to take the time to say, you know what, I'm going to need time to think about this. This is critical. This is going to affect me. What other people is this going to affect? I'm not really sure if I really want to take this task on. So really giving myself time to really think questions through before I answer them, or before they even come out of feelings. There are some that immediately it's like, no, it's not going to happen. And there are some that I'm appalled that people even ask me. I'm like, what did they just do? But instead of answering it, even then, knowing that I'm going to say no, just taking the time to even process it, think it through, so that my emotions aren't the answer that comes out. No, like, what were you thinking? As opposed to just saying, you know, let me just process it, let me just calm down over the situation, and then being able to say, That's pretty cool that you asked me that in some kind of weird way. No. So being able to say no, and if my friends and family don't support that, or they keep insisting or try to make me feel guilt or anything like that, I need to realize, they're really not in my best interest, and they're not really caring about me. Where if the shoes were turned, I would be like, oh man, I get that. And even though I would really want them to do something, like, man, can I really talk you into it? At the end of the day, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it, or you have your reasons why, I have to really respect that. And some things I have to go, they're not looking out for me the same way, so it might be best not to have them in my life. And so that brings me down to remove those that are toxic in my life. If they aren't wanting me to grow and can't enhance me and contribute to my growth, without their own agendas. Like, I got people who've enhanced me. Oh, I'm supporting you, I'm there for you, but they're really out for their own agendas. And when the I'm just gonna say, when the paint hit the canvas, true colors start showing. And I was like, things that I was seeing, the way people were taking advantage of me, I think people have taken advantage that don't even know that they were taking advantage. Like, some people were just like, man, I can't believe that it's this easy. I love Zanette, she's always there for me. And they got so comfortable with it that it just was like, it just grew. And then other people probably set out that way to begin with, and they were who they were. At the end of the day, those are people that I have to remove out of my life and say, you know what, I contribute more growth to them than they contribute to me. And not that this has to be an equal scale, even if you gave me less, but what you poured into me was abundant. That's an awesome thing. If I gave you bread every single day and you poured knowledge in me that produced money, or like a successful business, you poured more into me than to me giving the bread. Or maybe you thought that was equal, or maybe it is equal, or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody who was like, you know what, I didn't do that because I wanted you made some money, and I come back and go, man, I've been feeding you bread every day, but today I'm going to give you lobster. And they go, that's not what I did it for. I enjoy the bread. That's me. And people take advantage of that, and not being able to pour back into me, or not being able to keep up the bread, or it's like, what am I doing for them? And they're not giving it back in no kind of way, or giving pieces, and really thinking that these pieces that you can see right through, they're shallow, or they're not worth what you gave it on. They're not worth the plate you're serving it on. The plate's cracked all over the place. Like, it's shattered, and every time I put something in my mouth, it's gonna slice me. So, and then get mad and go, I did this for you. Did you? It didn't come from the heart. Then don't do it. And don't lie about it. Like, people can see right through you, and I'm learning, when I see that, when I discern that, walk away from it, Tanetta, and just be okay with that. So yeah. And so people in my life should give me the support the same as I support them, to the best of their capacity. And if their best isn't supportive, then I need to just let it go. I'm 100% responsible for me in all things. No one's to blame. And I'm 100% not responsible for you. You are your own individual. You are a big girl or a big boy. You gotta do you. And so, yeah. I'm gonna go back up there. I need to take responsibility for me. What are my best assets, my best gifts? Embrace them. Embrace them. That's me. I'm a good talker. And it may not be for everybody, but it's for somebody. And I inspire and I motivate. There are other characteristic things about me that are wonderful, that somebody likes. Somebody likes how I smell. Somebody likes my quirky smile. Somebody likes my face that's just like so crooked, and that my nose has this little quirk thing that it does because my face is not asymmetrical. And somebody likes the fact that my dimples literally mean weak jaws, like physical. They're weak jaws, but they think it's cute, and they're like, man, I like that little quirk about Tanetta. Cool, you know. And so I need to embrace that. And based on who I am and who I like to be and what people like of me, that gives me an opportunity to set the boundaries that I need and be okay with those. Set the limitations, and I'm trying to see what I wrote. Set limitations to my extent, to what I need, and how I need to use them, you know, how I need to use my gifts, and how I need to use my limitations. Like, no, that's not going to benefit me, so I'm going to set that limit. No, it's not going to happen. Or, yeah, I'm going to go do that. So, and if there are other options to reach the goal that I'm trying to reach, I need to stay clear and focus on it, you know. If there are better options, maybe the choice to improve me is to go with the better option. We get attached to a lot of things, and sometimes we want people to see us, and you know, everybody has a different perception of you, and maybe it's healthy and maybe it's not healthy. And if person A has this perception of, oh, I don't think Tanetta is thick enough, she needs to gain some more weight, and B says, nah, I think Tanetta's too thick, I think she needs to lose about 30 pounds. And person C says, well, I just think she need to be taller, and it will all just, you know, work out. And person D is like, well, I think that if she was short, it'd be real cute and I'd like it, or whatever. And I'm going, okay, let me help you, let me lose some weight and let me gain some weight, and let me, oh, you know, I was going to this place, they said I could stretch, and then if I sit in the spa, they said I might be able to shrink. Or I'm gonna try to appease every single last one of you when I'm around you. I have a really knack that I say I'm a chameleon. I can fit in any array of things, like any arena, I'm there. I can sit in a whole table of Caucasian people and feel absolutely comfortable. I can sit at a table with all African Americans and feel absolutely comfortable. And know how I'd feel with like Russian people talking Russian. I'd be like, what are you saying? Because I'm not used to that, right? So I can sit around different ethnicities and feel absolutely like, okay, I'm cool here. But then there are other places where I don't feel comfortable at all. I might sit at a table with all Caucasian people talking racist things, going, that ain't cool, you know. Or I might sit at a table full of black people who think they're better than me. That ain't cool, you know. And so we'll never please everybody. And so that's something that I'm learning. Like, I would try to, because I knew how to fit with everything, I would try to make sure that I had something to connect to please them. Well, I can connect with you without pleasing you, and you can walk away from the table and go, I really didn't care for that Tanetta. She was like too fat. Okay. And I need to be okay with that. So learning those things for me is going to be that's going to be great. It's going to improve who I am. It's going to give me an opportunity to take the time to look at the bigger picture when I'm reaching out on the goals that I want to improve my life, and think about the pros and cons of things. Is this person treating me good? Is there better options out there? You know, I'm always living so righteous and so good. Oh, I can't think about this person. I got this person right here. It's just wrong. I wouldn't want nobody to do it to me, so I'm not going to do it to them. Hocus pocus bull crap. Everybody knows that everybody does it, and I will do whatever it takes to try not to get it out of my head. But the truth and the fact is that if somebody is more pleasing to me, and I'm not talking about faithful commitments, relationships, don't get me wrong, I'm not encouraging people that if they're in a faithful committed relationship, they're married, and really they're married or that's their thing, hey, just keep running away from all these commitments because you go and live life and be happy the way you want to. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to fight for what you believe in, and if love is what you believe in and you believe that you two are supposed to be together, you do what you do, but you don't fight each other. You know, the devil has a really great knack of keeping things in people's ears, and you hear it wrong and you get your feelings all punched up in a shape. And in the Bible, there's nowhere in the Bible talking about we're married because we're so in love with each other. Well, Solomon, so yeah, but that's not the goal. Like, God's goal of marriage is not about, oh, you make me happy and I'm so in love. Marriage is a ministry. The happiness is the icing on the cake. The sex in marriage is the cherry on top. That's like, these are the bonus things that God gave, because marriage is a ministry. It's about, what's the purpose? What is your purpose? What is my purpose? And we come together and serve God's purpose. Like, that's the purpose. So that's my belief system, and I can give a whole sermon on that, and some may not agree, and that's okay. But at the end of the day, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, if somebody in my life is not being fulfilling, enhancing my life, and cannot say, man, when I look at Tanetta, that is a wonderful woman, and I'm going to fight tooth and nail for her, I'm going to let her know she's not going to ever have to wonder about it. If they're not doing that, then I have to look at the better options of life to go, you know what, this may not be okay for me. And I've gone through enough relationships to go, this may not be, you know. And so it's time to have these great pieces of wisdom and saying, you know, I'm ready for a healthy relationship. Not right now, but I'm ready for this healthy relationship. Well, I'm preparing for it now. And so the better option may be the better choice to improve my life and improve the significant other that comes into my life. Taking taking the time to process that and think about those, you know, those are the pros and the cons. I'm single, so those are the pros and the cons in my life. And I'm gonna get some people to go, she's single, you know, or what about, okay, so in my life right now, I don't wear a ring. There is nothing that says that I have this piece of paper that I'm committed or I'm on my way there. So I'm single, and until the one who God has chosen for me comes up and says, you're the one, I'm committed to you, I ain't slipping and dipping nowhere else, it's me and you against the world, you my ride or die, and not me telling folks I'm your ride or die, then I'm going to think about those pros and those cons and use my discernments without disregarding dysfunctions to say, oh, they're just the abuse, rather, that sometimes people can tell me in my ear. I've gone through lots of years of abuse, and it's not okay. It's not okay. I deserve more. And speaking to myself, Tanetta, you deserve more. You are brilliant, have a wonderful mind. You got hit upside the head, but you know, you are great. You're intelligent. You are beautiful inside and out. You love, and you love hard. You love others. You want the best for the whole world if it was in your capacity. So find somebody who's compatible with you, to embrace that, to embrace you, to embrace them, so that you could reach your highest potential, and you enhance them to reach their highest potential. Yeah, even if your highest potential is living in a shack, giving up things because you're going, you know what, we're happy and we're doing what makes us happy. People keep viewing success as different things, but money, houses, boats, whatever. I know people that are rich and they're not happy. So, girl, you do you. Now, they say if you talk to yourself and you talk back to yourself, then you're probably crazy. And seeing that this video is for me and I just talk to myself and I'm responding. Yeah. Anyway, so, all right, I'm the comedian too. Let it go. Don't be trying to send out the people out to get me in a white jacket. So just stop always asking for confirmations and accept my own advice. So that's why I'm talking to me. So yeah, and have no apologies for my stance and my beliefs. That's what I believe. That's what I believe, and I'm standing on it. God said it. I believed it. That's it. Tanetta, you believe it. It's in your heart. You're not swaying. Stick with it. I don't care if it changes 5 years later. Medical technology changes all the way. Put the baby on the back. Put the baby on the stomach. Put the baby on the side. Whatever they say to do for SIDS, we do it. It's not always concrete. You know, rest in peace for the babies who passed away. Parents are following rules from the experts. So if my expertise tells me in my heart, my feelings, my everything, you know, my discernment, Tanetta, we should go left, and that ain't the right choice, well, then it was the right choice that God said do. And that's that. Stand on it, believe it, that's it. If the choice changes and goes, you know what, I should do it this way, there might be an aha moment on why I went down that path that wasn't right, but it felt right, and then came back and then found out later that it saved me more money, more heartbreak, more whatever, saved my life, and had an aha moment about it later. We've all had that. So I'm gonna stand on what I believe and be happy with that. I'm not the savior. I'm limited to helping others, and those things I need to remember. I thank you guys for your support. For whoever's listening, if they're listening, anybody who needs this on their own journey, I wish you the best of luck. I got a lot of my information. I read through and watched the videos of Vanessa Van Edwards. So some of the things that I took from myself. Some of the things were just remembering some of my spiritual walk and journey, and a lot of the things that I should be doing came from the research, the study of Vanessa Van Edwards. I will be putting a piece of information about her in it, and I think I have her link as well to things that you can do to stop being a people pleaser. If I don't have the link in there, I'll try to edit it and get it in there. But again, her name is Vanessa Edwards, and I think it's 11 things that you can do to stop people pleasing. There's a good article on it she has listed as well. She teaches workshops on teaching people, as she was socially awkward herself. All right, so that's my shout out. I gotta give props to where props belongs. And so thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. I was getting ready to do my stuff that I do for business. This is personal. Tanetta, you do you. Love you all. Bye.